The highly anticipated showdown between WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury and former UFC heavyweight king Francis Ngannou delivered drama, shocks, and controversy. In a fight billed as a crossover spectacle between boxing and MMA, few expected Ngannou, making his professional boxing debut, to seriously trouble one of the best heavyweights of his generation. Yet, the Cameroonian powerhouse not only held his own but floored Fury in the third round, nearly pulling off one of the greatest upsets in combat sports history. Ultimately, Fury survived the scare and eked out a razor-thin split decision victory, keeping his undefeated record intact. From the opening bell, the bout had an air of unpredictability. Fury, the towering Brit known for his slick movement and ring IQ, attempted to establish his jab and dictate the pace. Ngannou, however, was patient, cutting off the ring and waiting for opportunities. The first 2 rounds were cagey, with both men feeling each other out and fans sensing something unexpected brewing. That shock came in the third round. Ngannou, timing Fury perfectly, landed a thunderous left hook that sent the Gypsy King crashing to the canvas. For a moment, the world seemed to stand still. Fury, who had previously risen from Wilder's devastating right hands, was forced to prove his resilience once again. He beat the count, but the knockdown galvanized Ngannou, who grew in confidence as the crowd erupted in disbelief. The middle rounds became a battle of wills. Fury, regaining composure, leaned on his boxing fundamentals, jabbing, clinching, and using lateral movement to keep Ngannou at bay. Still, Ngannou's raw power and surprising composure made every exchange dangerous. Unlike many predicted, the MMA star didn't tire quickly or wildly swing. Instead, he remained disciplined, mixing in counter shots that kept Fury cautious and, at times, visibly frustrated. As the fight entered the championship rounds, Fury increased his urgency, realizing the scorecards might be slipping away. He flicked the jab with more intent, used his size to lean on Ngannou in clinches, and tried to rack up points with combinations. Ngannou, though, refused to fade. In the later rounds, he even pressed the action, showing stamina and a tactical approach that shocked boxing purists who doubted his transition from the octagon to the squared circle. When the final bell rang, both men raised their hands, a sign of how close and contentious the battle had been. The judges' scorecards reflected the tension. One judge scored the bout for Ngannou, while the other 2 narrowly favored Fury, handing him a split decision win. Boos rang out from sections of the crowd who felt Ngannou had done enough to dethrone the lineal champion in his very first boxing appearance. For Fury, the victory was bittersweet. While his record remained unblemished, the performance raised serious questions about his sharpness and preparation. Scheduled to face Alexander Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight championship, Fury's struggles against a boxing newcomer cast doubt on how he will fare against the technically brilliant Ukrainian. Critics pointed to Fury's lack of urgency early on and his vulnerability to Ngannou's power as warning signs ahead of arguably the biggest fight of his career. As for Ngannou, his stock skyrocketed despite the defeat. Once dismissed by many as a publicity stunt, he proved he belongs on the world stage, even against elite heavyweights. His composure, power, and ability to knock down Fury in his debut made believers out of skeptics. In the post-fight aftermath, boxing fans and analysts called for Ngannou to return to the ring, with potential bouts against top heavyweights now realistic possibilities. The Fury-Ngannou clash will be remembered not just as a spectacle, but as a legitimate contest that defied expectations. Fury, blooded but unbowed, remains unbeaten, while Ngannou leaves with his reputation enhanced beyond measure. In the end, boxing avoided a seismic upset, but only just.